How's it going? Today we are going to change the radiator in my pickup truck so my wife can get back to driving that, and then I'll be able to actually work on the Roadmaster in a greater capacity by tearing a bunch of it apart and being able to not have to have it back together the next day so that I could drive it for work. Right now I'm draining the antifreeze out of the radiator, and then I'm going to pull the radiator, and I'm actually going to build some straps that go across. We're going to bend them a little bit here on the ends. The radiator has, holes at the top and bottom, so I'm going to bolt these in there to hold the fans back up off the radiator a little bit, so that this same thing doesn't happen again to the new radiator. Um, we can look at the new radiator. This thing's kind of huge. I got this off of Rock Auto, and I'm going to show this to you. This is the new radiator. It's got a little bit of a ding right here. Doesn't seem to be like a fatal thing, so I think it's still going to work. It doesn't look like it's cracked in any way. But I show you this because this radiator on Rock Auto was $115. This is the radiator that was in it. Now, it's the same size, and we've looked at it and compared it, and they've extended the width back here. So that all should work fairly well. This tank here is a lot bigger. But I got to get these fans. You see why this kit I bought had you attach the fans through the radiator. And on this side here, you can see that I've JB welded, and it just kind of didn't hold, and it sprung a leak right there. So, uh, we kind of have to replace it. But either way, it's much better for cooling radiator. We'll see how long the thing lasts. Hopefully, this is another good buy from Rock Auto. $115 for a what is supposed to be a what do they call it? A two-row radiator. Not too bad. So maybe this will work good. Anyway, I'm going to get started by taking the fans off so that we can kind of start measuring the straps of metal here to put onto the new radiator for holding the fans. So, and getting them, bent and molded so that they'll work on the new radiator and not put holes in it. Let's get started. I was going to start measuring, like I said, I got the fans off. So I got these fans off. Now I was going to start measuring to bend those pieces of metal in shape, and then I got the radiator out and put on the piece of wood and was looking at it and decided to go a different way, and hopefully this will work. I noticed it's got these original spots here where the original fan shroud bolted up, and I can take and I'll cut this down. This is exactly the right width here. I'll cut it down here. We can mount a fan on there, and then this side slides in, but they're off centered from, or not off center, but they're off, height. The height is different from one side to the other here. So we're just going to get the fans mounted up, and then we're going to figure out something to kind of like slide in here and bolt down into this. I'm going to cut this one down a little bit too so that it's not so long, um, so that everything works out right. And then I'm going to drill holes right there and there, get those set in place, uh, and then then set the fans on, and then we'll drill holes for each one of these little areas. There's only 4 mounting spots on each fan, so we'll get them set up. They're going to kind of be a little, but they call it, tipped out. This is why I'm hoping, like I said, I'm hoping it'll work right. So it'll be like that pretty much. So there'll be some of the, I might cut out a little bit in here to keep that fan, going, so that it'll, on each one, but I can slide them wherever I want them. Um, but it's tipped up. See, the distance here from the radiator is more than the distance here. So hopefully this will work. Um, if not, I'll figure something out. My wife had said that you know with this being a bigger radiator, and that truthfully it was funny when earlier in the summer I was looking around and realized that I didn't have the electric fans hooked up. So they weren't even running most of the summer. I think in July, when we were getting ready to go to Rockfest, I finally figured out that the fans weren't hooked up. And so they'd already run like quite a while without no problem. So we can totally get away with it, I think, because the truck already cools fairly well. And if anything else, I'll just take a piece of aluminum and kind of slide it in behind the fans a little bit, and make it in with the bolt holes, and then just take it and bend it straight down so that you're able to at least pull. There's a little bit of block there to help pull with the fan, but I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't affect it too much, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to get back to doing what I'm doing, and I'll show you what's happening later. So okay. I lost a light today. No matter what I do, it won't turn back on. This one here, I use that a lot for filming. I hope you can still see me. It was dropped a couple times, so I'm not surprised that one burned out. So we'll have to replace that. It's a cheap light from Menards, not so bad. But I just thought I'd show you what I was doing here. So I'm going to drill these holes in. I measured out, and it's 9/16 this way by 1/2 inch is the center of the holes out there. I did both sides. I'm just going to kind of take this universal bit and punch her through there. Oh, the light just came back on. Maybe it overheated. That very well could be. Lights out again. All right, that worked out pretty good. It's on there. It's not totally tightened down, but it's gonna stay pretty well, I think. No problem. All right, let's get the other one on there. All right, got this other piece on here. That looks pretty good too. See? Marked the holes just with a marker. I'm going to go drill each one now. Obviously off of the radiator. And then we'll mount them up. I got the fans mounted on the crossbars. Like that. Use lock nuts instead of a bunch of washers. Let's go see if it actually fits or not. Well, it's not horrible. It's a little off. I must have got off with the holes a little bit. These look okay. I think I can put the bolts in there. See? Yeah. Works just fine. All right. So it's time to get rid of the radiator. This one is ready to go in. Just need to get the hoses off. I'm going to disconnect the lower hose and let that drain for a little while, and then we'll get the radiator out of there. All right, let's go do this. long as I was at it, I took the opportunity to remove these like holders for this rod. You see that rod sitting on the thing right there? That's supposed to go into the back of the truck by the license plate, and then you twist down the spare tire, but that doesn't work anymore. It's all stripped out in there, so I'm just actually going to take all that out and taking this opportunity to do so. So let's go. I'm going to go finish putting this back together. Not staged. That thing just screwed. Both those just screwed. They're right in there. I have to do nothing. Man, I couldn't have been any better. I'm putting in antifreeze and getting this thing complete. It is pretty much done. I just got to do some wiring. I got to run to the store for a few things first. Looks pretty good. Well, there we go. I got all the antifreeze in. I haven't started it yet, so let's do that, huh? Well, doesn't seem to be leaking anything, so I'm gonna just kind of monitor it, let it run for a little while, and put in as we need. But I think that's it for today. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining me.